Houndstooth, or sometimes called dog's tooth, is a pattern commonly found in woven fabric and is characterized by its abstract checkered shapes. Hello! In this tutorial, I'll show you how to draw and make a stamp for a houndstooth pattern. Either of these methods make a really cool design to add to any project. First, let's start with the basics. I'm going to draw this on a grid paper to make it easier. This pattern mainly consists of this one shape that is repeated. The shape is made of 4 squares. A solid square, then on the left and bottom right, divide those squares with even diagonal lines. Then fill them in like this. You can think of it as making an M shape in the middle with 2 arrows pointing toward the outside. The final square in the lower left is blank. So this is the shape that makes up the entire pattern. Now just repeat this shape row after row, and you'll start to see the houndstooth pattern form. Now that you know the basic shapes that make up a houndstooth pattern, you can also make a stamp for it. For the base, you will need a square object, any size just as long as it has a square flat surface on one side. I found this 2-inch wood block that was about $1. Another option is to use the top side of a stamp, and if there's a sticker on it, just peel it off. This stamp was only $1 as well, and nice thing is that you can have 2 stamps in one. Just a tip, if you are also using a wood block and it has no finish, you might want to consider spraying a varnish on it or putting a coat of glue on it so that the surface is easier to clean and you don't have any rough edges giving you splinters. For the stamp material, you can use a thick piece of craft foam or a stamp carving block, which I will include a link to in the video description below. First, take your square base and trace around it on the stamp material. Then trim it out. Now, just like we learned in the beginning, divide the square into 4 sections that make up the shape. Solid square on the upper right, then the diagonal lines, leaving the other one blank. To make it easier, lightly mark the negative space around the shape, and those will be the sections that you cut out. You can also save those pieces to make another stamp as well. Now take the pieces and glue them to the base. I'm using a glue gun, but you can also use other glue as well. While the glue is still wet, you can stack the base and the pieces on the table so they align together to make an evenly square stamp. If you're using craft foam, you can just repeat these same steps, and here's what it looks like on the other base. To make the houndstooth pattern, just stamp it in your choice of ink and then stamp it onto your project. Just like the beginning, make rows of the stamp to form the pattern. The results may have a photocopier or distressed kind of look, but I think it actually looks cool that way. If you want to see more patterns you can make by hand, check out my DIY print patterns playlist. And if there's one that you would like to see added to that list, go ahead and share it in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this video. For more DIY projects, be sure to subscribe and check out my channel, C11. If you like stamping patterns, you might like to check out one of these here. All the links and more information can be found in the video description below. And if you get the chance, be sure to follow me on my social links listed along the bottom.